WWE releases Kairi Sane's return, Aleister Black to AEW, Vikings news, and so much more. Welcome to a Latte's Vision episode number 15. Let's get into it! TKO CCO Mark Shapiro says that basically fan feedback matters a lot to them. It's extremely important and we take it very seriously. That is the biggest lie I have ever heard spew out of Mr. Shapiro's mouth. If you listen to the fans, you wouldn't have Pat McAfee in the main event of WrestleMania. You would have brought back Karrion Kross. You would bring back Kairi Sane. There's just so many things that they do that is completely contradictory to this. And I hate how they're trying to insult our intelligence, acting like they care. We all know the New Day was released, but let's get into the reasoning behind it. They were reportedly asked to take pay cuts, and they were given just 2 days to decide whether or not they wanted to take that pay cut, and ended up just leaving. This is sounding a lot like the Karrion Kross situation, where they did not tell him, I believe they did not tell him the specifics of his contract, and they did not specify whether or not Scarlett would be included in the deal. It's just such a screwy, douchey thing to do. It's just so stupid, and it seems like TKO just doesn't really care about keeping any talent. Next, a majorly pushed WWE talent was asked to take a 50% pay cut last week and agreed to it, allegedly. And it's reported they were asking a lot of people to take pay cuts, which is just so pathetic. Imagine being so unbelievably greedy. You jam-pack the show with ads, put celebrities where they should never be, ruin shows sometimes, and you have the audacity to come in and ask the people who are doing their jobs and doing it well, you have the audacity to come in and say, hey, can you take less money? As if they're already not making enough money. It is just pure pathetic greed at this point. Just to put into perspective how much money they make, TKO CEO Ari Emanuel, who was the one who inserted Pat McAfee into WrestleMania, was paid $67.4 million in 2025. COO Mark Shapiro was paid $42.6 million in 2025, and WWE President Nick Khan had $24.3 million. Oh, I feel so bad. They're barely making any money, guys. I mean, they are swimming in gold, Scrooge McDuck style, and they have the audacity to ask talent to take pay cuts. They keep trying to make excuses for it too, and none of them make any sense. I believe one of the excuses that they came up with was they called up a lot of people from NXT, so they were trying to release a similar amount of people. They called up 7 people from NXT and released 22. That is the stupidest excuse I've ever heard. Staying on the topic of WWE releases, let's talk about Kairi Sane. Backlash is tomorrow. Asuka versus Io. Kairi Sane could potentially return, and reportedly, people within WWE believe that there's a better than 50% chance that Kairi will return at Backlash. I am obviously hoping and praying for this, but I don't think it's going to happen. I went more in depth to it in my Backlash predictions video from yesterday. I want it to happen 100 million bajillion %, but I just don't think it will, unfortunately. But if she does, it will be my biggest pop of the night. And apparently there might be more WWE releases coming, and some people that I'm concerned for are people like Shinsuke Nakamura, like Ilya Dragunov. It looked like they were going to pull the trigger on Shinsuke with the US title, and then he just didn't defend it for 3 months and dropped it back to LA Knight. Yeah. And Ilya, one of my favorite wrestlers right now, and probably my favorite in-ring wrestler. I am so concerned for him because he's doing so much good work, but he genuinely has a chance to be a cornerstone of the business. And he's only 33. And wrestlers usually enter their prime around 35, 38, somewhere in there. I am so concerned for him. I really just stop with the releases. You have enough money to pay him. Aleister Black is reportedly in negotiations with AEW. It was originally reported that there was no interest from AEW, and now a couple days later, apparently there is. I don't know if bro's trying to pull an Andrade here, but I would love to see Aleister Black back at AEW. Let's talk a little bit about the Roman Reigns situation. He was originally advertised for... I'm going to go fully in depth here. I'm going to go balls deep. We are going to go in depth. He was originally advertised for all the episodes of Raw in May and all the episodes of Raw in June and Night of Champions in June. And then suddenly, like a few days later, or like a day later maybe even, he just was pulled from all those dates, and now they're trying to pull a fast one on us and say he was never advertised for any episodes of Raw in June, or he was never scheduled for them. It was just a clerical error. Baloney! You don't make the entire official poster for Night of Champions and accidentally put someone on there who isn't gonna be there. That is such a fat lie, it is not even funny. Roman Reigns has the foresight to see if he's gonna be available for all these dates in the summer. He wouldn't say, we're gonna destroy all those full-time rumors or all those part-time rumors without knowing that he would be there. What is this all a cover-up for? I don't know. Because there is no doubt in my mind that this is a cover-up. I don't know if there's tension between Roman Reigns and TKO, if they asked him to take a pay cut and he doesn't want to, or what. But it's so stupid how TKO lies about these things for no reason whatsoever. However, he's still advertised for all the Raws in June, and he is going to be at Clash in Italy, which Roman Reigns in front of an international crowd has never once been bad, so I can't wait. Staying on the topic of kind of TKO though, people within WWE are said to be extremely happy with all the recent celebrity performances. It's also been indicated that they won't be stopping anytime soon. I'm assuming this can't be the creative team. There's no way it's the creative team. It must be TKO that is happy with these celebrity performances. Because there's no way that it's seeming like WWE was building to Cody vs. Randy, and then TKO forced Pat McAfee into the situation. That can't make them happy. They can't be satisfied with that. Some celebrity involvements have just been horrible. Pat McAfee, horrible. Travis Scott, horrible. Now, I'm not saying they're all bad by any means. Some of them are great, like I Show Speed, like Jelly Roll. But about 85% of the time, it's terrible. They really need to stop, or at least slow down, and use them properly. That's all I'm asking for. If you're going to involve them, fine. But just don't put them in the main event of WrestleMania. They shouldn't even be interfering with any matches, in my opinion. Cody Rhodes says he's tired of fans constantly arguing about attendance numbers and ratings online. He said, quote, like, I watched the show. I like the show. I like this guy. I don't like that guy. I like her. I don't need to know how many people were in the seats. I don't know who's keeping all these records, but I'm getting tired of it. Like, what do we need this for, you know? Who's this for? The show seems like it's doing great. And I don't think people who argue about attendance and ratings, like, they are being pretty stupid. I think arguing about them is different than pointing out, hey, this is the lowest attended WrestleMania in the last 5 years, for example. Or something like that. I think pointing stuff out is different than arguing about it. but it's also kind of hard not to talk about this stuff since it is shoved down our throats. LA Knight, yeah, was originally scheduled to have a short program with Gunther before the company pivoted to Gunther heading to SmackDown to challenge Cody Rhodes. It is currently unknown what Knight's creative direction it will now be, but he is still in the company. I am so concerned. I didn't mention this earlier, but I am so concerned for LA Knight. Yeah, he's 43, I believe. And WWE just seems to hate him. So I am strongly concerned that he is going to get released. I don't know what they're going to do with LA Knight. I mean, they just put him in the world title picture already. Honestly. Have him win Money in the Bank this year, please. We've been waiting for like 3 or 4 years. Piggy Intercity, the demo will release in 3 days now, or that's the recording this video, 2 days. So this Sunday, May 10th. I'm very glad we're finally getting an update because we have been waiting a long time. On some Vikings news, Chef Zinn has been doing great things with the Vikings, but they are interviewing some people to potentially be the next general managers. These include Rams assistant GM John McKay, Seahawks assistant GM Nolan Teasley, and Bills assistant GM Terrence Gray. I don't know anything about these people. I don't know if they'd be good or not. All I know is I like Chef Zinn, and it was a good run. Jawan Juice Jennings has signed with the Minnesota Vikings. And oh baby, this is about to be a good year for whoever's at quarterback. I mean, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Jawan Jennings. Jordan Addison could be a wide receiver 1 on 90% of teams. And Jawan Jennings could be a wide receiver 2 on a very large chunk of teams. I think we must have the best wide receiver trio in the entirety of the NFL. There's no way that there's any better than this. I am so excited to have Jawan Jennings. Welcome to the Vikings. I can't wait. Chelsea Green had heart surgery the other day. Apparently she's had something with her heart for like 10 years. I don't really understand what she had, but I'm glad that she is doing well, and I hope that she gets well as soon as possible. John Cena says that his announcement at Backlash this Saturday is going to, quote, shock the foundation of WWE, quote. And unfortunately, I don't think this is anywhere near the truth. I think John Cena is probably being told to say this because I don't think he would want to lie. It is reported that it's just going to be something Club WWE related, which I don't know how that's shocking the foundation of WWE, but if it's like a WrestleMania in London, you know, that would be, yeah, I get that. That would shock the foundation of WWE, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let me know what you think John Cena's announcement could potentially be. Before we preview SmackDown, staying on the topic of London, SmackDown will take place on a Tuesday in London on June 23rd. It is possible that the show airs live on Netflix. Tuesday night SmackDown is back, mate. I'm not sure why they're doing a SmackDown on a Tuesday, but, I mean, I guess it's cool. The Glamour Blake Monroe is expected to start appearing on SmackDown by the end of the month. I do not like this. This is giving, it's reminding me of, a couple particular situations that did not end so well for the talent involved in them. But I am hoping, and I think I'm fairly certain that this will not repeat with Blake Monroe, just because of how big of a star she is. Now let's preview tonight's SmackDown. Cody Rhodes will appear. Gunther is advertised. The funeral of the gingerbread man who was brutally assassinated, quite frankly, last week. on SmackDown by Samuel Killer Zayn. Paige and Brie Bella are advertised. Tiffany Stratton versus Kiana James for the Women's United States Championship. And Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss going up against Fatal Influence. Also, apparently a lot of people in WWE are upset about how seriously they're taking the Gingerbread Man angle. Grow up, dude. Like, have some fun in wrestling. It's not like they're putting this in the main event of WrestleMania, okay? It's not like that. This is probably going to be a 10-minute segment on SmackDown. A 3-hour SmackDown. Very excited for tonight's episode of SmackDown. Let me know your thoughts on any of the things that I talked about in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. And bye.
Backlash.